Spirit. This is going to be the weekly intuitive astrology reading. Stop. Clyde is acted up right now. For September 9th to the 15th. I see you, buddy. I see you. This is the second live, so if you are in the first one, I hope you find this one. For those in here, please, by all means, if you could share the link in the other chat if people are still up in there. This glitch has happened, I want to say 3 times in the last week. Maybe I'm misremembering that. It definitely happened recently when I was trying to go live on my Patreon. What do you see? Sorry, kitty cat is very alive and lively right now. Anyway, so it's probably going to take a few minutes for everybody to climb up in here. And if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. Are your readings booked up already? I think they are, unfortunately. But by the way, for those who are curious, I am open for sessions for one-on-ones and what have you. I also did some updates to the website. But just so you know, for booking with me, you can book up to 30 days in advance. And if you're not finding a time slot, it's probably because I am booked up. So just keep checking, because days will open up as we progress through the calendar. But anyway, trying to get back to this weekly vibes. So I guess that is an announcement that is probably worth putting out there. So thank you for asking me, because now people know. But getting to the weekly, this is from September 9th to the 15th, and this is a good week. This is a good week. I was looking at the aspects and I'm like, yeah. And I was already kind of feeling it too a little bit when I woke up this morning. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a good week. I did actually do a collective reading earlier today that I felt called to do, but it won't upload to YouTube today. So it's available for my patrons, but it's just how YouTube works. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. And today is 9/9, so I know a lot of people consider this to be a portal day. Could also be part of the good vibes, but yeah, it's a good week. So if you're new, the way this works, I go over my perspective of what's going down this week, just based off astrology, based off of my own intuition and just kind of tuning in. And then I go into more of a deep dive of the astrology, and then we do cards and channel messages, and we just hang out and have a good time. Okay. So that being said, let's get into, hold on. Oh man, is this pen not working? I also do timestamps, so, oh shit, I need a new pen. Hold on a second. Hold up. All kinds of weird things not working today. Transits and dates. Astrology. Okay, so first things first, I do want to mention just some transits and important dates that are happening this week. So today is 9/9, and like I mentioned, some people may consider that to be a portal day. If you do, enjoy the vibes, do your rituals, tune in, whatever you do for your portal days, right? Today we also have Mercury back into Virgo. The post shadow is almost over. We are so close. September 11th is when the post shadow ends for the Mercury retrograde period we were in. On that same day, I believe that's Wednesday, if I can count. Mercury will also be exact sextile Mars. And on the 15th of September, we actually have 2 aspects that are so fascinating to be happening at the same time. We have Mars square the North Node, and then we have Venus trine Jupiter. I'm gonna say that again, because it's interesting to think about. Mars square the North Node, Venus trine Jupiter. I know, it's interesting, but that's just some important dates and transits that are happening this week. And getting into the overview of what's going down. So this is just more of a quick little paraphrase. There's a lot of support and help with our ability to communicate, our own charisma, magnetism, flirting, being able to be very quick-minded, being able to get plans together, all that stuff, especially because Jupiter is very, very active in very positive ways and also kind of funky ways, and we'll get into it. This is definitely a week where you just want to enjoy life, okay? Relationships are really well aspected. Like I said, communication's really well aspected. Any kind of romance, dating, flirting, anything like that is awesome this week. Finances are interesting because finances are well aspected, but some of the Jupiter activity could make that kind of funky. And so just know that this week you may be feeling revitalized. You may feel like, shit, I'm on top of the world and I can do anything. especially the Virgo kind of backing all this energy too. And just know, yes, you probably can with moderation. And we'll get into the details as to why that is. So if you're feeling very like confident about things that you want to do, plans you want to get together, or if you're feeling really confident socially, enjoy all of that, but just make sure you are actually just taking in the present moment and like enjoying the pleasures of life and not getting really carried away. Like, I want to say, like, don't leap before you think. Like, impulsive, reckless behavior is very poorly aspected. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can get excited, you can get amped, you can look at your life and be like, oh my God, the possibilities, or even especially when it comes to the social aspect, because social experiences are going to be huge this week for everybody. All of it is great, all of it is dandy. Just pace yourself. Patience, pacing, moderation. Also, Jupiter and Venus, indulgence is a huge thing. Overspending is a huge thing. Also, finances can be a little funky here. So, just that's it. Enjoy life and all that is coming through, all the things that feel good in moderation and with a conservative point of view and patience. Patience, patience, patience. Okay. That's what I have to say as far as like just quickly paraphrasing the energy of this week. And it's all good. There's nothing really wrong with that. Honestly, that's like, to me, that's really good news. But that being said, let's get into the astrology. Oh, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. I always forget this. So, as far as signs and degrees go, my cardinal signs, if any of you have very strong cardinal placements, Cancer, Cappy, Libra, Aries, between 6 and 8 degrees specifically, just know that needing to be patient is going to apply to you more so than other people. Okay. I'll get into the details as to why that is, but we kind of have a like, it's not really a true mutable grand cross. It's not a true one, but to me, it's prominent enough to mention for the week. So my cardinal signs, again, if you have any strong cardinal placements like your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Jupiter, your North Node, whatever, that are in Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, Aries, anywhere between 6 and 8 degrees, just know that that like grand mutable cross energy might really apply to you. And especially since there's so much energy that's also just like gung-ho and confident and excited, and I'm just gonna go do this and I'm gonna go initiate that because that's what you guys like to do. This might be a time where maybe don't do so much of that, where it almost feels like take the pedal off the masculine energy a little bit and kind of lean into the feminine. Like, just enjoy the pleasure. Okay, enjoy the pleasure. You may think you like this is the right time. You may think, no, I got all my ducks in a row, I can do this. Doesn't matter how capable you are. The more overconfident we become and like over enthusiastic we become, the easier it is to miss things that are really important to consider before leaping off the cliff. Okay, I kind of expect the full card to come out for this week, but we'll see, right? So just wanted to make that very clear. But also, I forgot the timestamp. Oh well, whatever. It's okay. It happens. The other thing I want to mention, so Virgo, Gemini, actually, I guess I could just start it out, couldn't I? So Virgo, Gemini are very prominent. Cancer, Libra, and then Aries, I would say, are the next prominent. So Virgo, Gemini, any placements or oh my God, sorry, let me take it back. Words escape me for a second. If you have any placements in Virgo or Gemini between 20 and 25 degrees, or Libra, Gemini, 15 to 20 degrees, or the cardinal signs like in the ways that I had mentioned, you're probably going to really feel the energy of this week. Okay? Okay. I think that's all needs to be said. I'm going to go over them anyway when we go over the little sections, okay? All right, so the first little cluster I want to talk about, this is Jupiter and Virgo heavy, what I'm about to talk about. So this is why I keep saying just be a little conservative with your energy and, do things in moderation. So all this week we have the sun square Jupiter while the sun is working with the White Rabbit asteroid in Virgo, okay? At the beginning of the week, Jupiter is still in the opposite, the sun is still in opposition to Saturn in the beginning of the week, but I'm not worried about it because it's already pretty weak, very weak. And in the face of all this Jupiter energy that's making us feel so good, I'm really, really not worried about it, okay? So I'm just going to repeat because I'm realizing I'm talking very fast. And I think it's just part of the energy of the week. But Sun square Jupiter while the Sun is working with the White Rabbit asteroid. On top of that, Jupiter is also sextile Chiron while square the White Rabbit asteroid while Saturn is still in opposition to Orcus. So all this means is Jupiter's making us feel very good, very enthusiastic, very confident, very ready. But there's also a curiosity at play because of the White Rabbit asteroid, and the White Rabbit's kind of tricky. And there's some trickster energy afoot, and we'll talk about that too. But the White Rabbit asteroid, when that gets activated or that's, playing with other celestial bodies, it really piques our interest and curiosity of things and possibilities and doing different things. And it can create situations that you don't realize it, but you're stepping down a rabbit hole. That's why they call it the White Rabbit. And you may not realize that you're stepping into something that you didn't sign up for or that you weren't fully prepared for. And it doesn't always have to be bad. It can lead to really, really great experiences, pleasant surprises, if you will. But sometimes it also leads to a lot of change that you were like, holy shit, I didn't know I was changing everything, So just mentioning that. But if you embrace this curiosity, it's probably going to be in the realm of things that you are ready to cultivate, ready to execute, ready to put in order, if you will. Could even be things that just kind of speak to your own innate desire to have a more purposeful life or purposeful in relationships and intentions, or even your desire for heart-to-heart connections, because Mars being in Cancer is a big influence right now too. Whatever the reason is, if you follow that curiosity and that drive, it could lead to really interesting and pleasant social experiences that will definitely show you a lot about yourself. Absolutely. Now, I will say there's a little disclaimer with some of the social experiences that we have because, and I'll get to it later, but Venus opposing Chiron is a thing, especially towards the end of the week. So while all of this can feel good, if you have any insecurities or fears, some of you have worked through your shit. And for those where you're still struggling with fears and insecurities about relationships, especially when we're talking about power dynamics or we're talking about how to stay firm in your own identity, right? In relationships, that will come up, but it can be very enlightening and it could lead to really good things. That's not for everybody. I want to make that very clear. Every time I mention Chiron, people go, oh, when does the healing stop? And it's just like, everyone's in a different boat, okay? Especially with Jupiter being sextile Chiron, any sort of opportunities to face these things should actually come with some ease and grace. So again, very nicely aspected. Now, Jupiter in a square. Like I said, Sun is square Jupiter, right? So here's what gets funky with that, because Jupiter is benefic. It literally wants to give us good things, right? It's the planet of expansion and growth and optimism. When it gets into a square, it gets exacerbated. Meaning, yeah, you could feel good, but you don't realize that you're actually getting into an extreme, almost distorted, shadowy version of it. So again, overconfidence, being overzealous, overindulgence, overdoing, and especially paired with Virgo, a sign that likes to do, it could really bring out that component of do. You could feel like, again, Superman, Superwoman, nothing's gonna stop me, but you could burn out really fast, unexpectedly. Or you could dive into certain social experiences so fast, just so eagerly that you kind of lose your discernment. And then you don't realize, oh shit, I got into bed with this person. You know what I mean? So just patience, moderation is really key here. And also with the square with Jupiter, that does tend to lean towards not such a great like spending habit with finances. Something else to be mindful of. Okay? Okay. This will definitely be coming up with Virgo and Gemini 20 to 25 degrees. So wherever you have that in your chart with your houses, or if you have any personal planets, just keep your eye on those houses, okay? And if you start to get exciting opportunities or chances to like do fun things or things that just get you excited, again, enjoy it, but just make sure you actually like check where you're at financially before you just go and say yes, or you just go and dive in. Especially for those who want to do financial investments, this is an interesting week for it, that could have really, really great payoffs, but you just gotta like cross your T's, dot your I's here. Don't be anal about it, but just don't be reckless. Okay. Okay. All right, moving on. Some more emphasis on consider before you leap coming up here. This has to do with Mars. So there's an interesting thing happening with Mars and Venus here too. They're both very active, but in very different ways. And kind of what I was mentioning before, especially those of you who have very, very strong cardinal in your charts, I would definitely emphasize more of the Venusian, the feminine, really enjoy beauty, enjoy pleasure, enjoy the present moment and all that life has to offer. And don't get so caught up in initiating, in leading, in doing, in making things happen. Again, you may feel like Superman, Superwoman. You may feel like you can do it all. You can quickly burn out, or you can quickly run into obstacles or get into situations where you could lose pretty big. So, especially with the Jupiter square stuff going on too. So just be mindful. Just want to keep putting that disclaimer out there. Hi, buddy. Buddy, are you going to calm down? Cat interference. Hi. Hi. I know. Okay, so let's talk about this section, okay? So Mercury in Virgo as well, sextile Mars in Cancer, happening all week. There's also some asteroid activity around Mercury, but I didn't feel it was super important. Like it didn't really grab me just energetically. So again, I'm not really paying attention to that. But if you're curious, in the beginning of the week, Mercury is square Pallas Athena. By the end of the week, Mercury is working with Vesta and is also trine Ceres in Capricorn. Now, Mars is also square the North Node in Aries, while also being square Lilith and opposing Ceres. This is where we have that like pseudo grand mutable cross energy I was talking about, because you literally have Mars in Cancer opposing Ceres in Capricorn, the North Node in Aries opposing Lilith, while they're all square each other. So that literally is just the definition of a grand cross. But it's not a true grand cross, especially because we're talking about a weekly energy. We're not just talking about a specific day, which is when the grand crosses tend to take place. So again, not a true grand cross, but the energy is kind of there between Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, with Lilith, Ceres, the North Node, and Mars. Okay, so what is this all coming down to? Mercury sextile Mars is amazing. That is a beautiful aspect. I'm happy to see it. That also can create charisma, flirtatious behavior, opportunities to exercise charisma and flirtatious behavior. But it can also make you feel like you're getting things faster, like things are making sense in just a way that normally is probably a little more difficult for you. You may even feel very motivated to just like go and do, especially if you're operating from this place of wanting to instill more intention and purpose into your life, or in your dealings, or in your relationships, especially with the Mars Cancer component, again, of heart-to-heart relationships, okay? Oh! Sorry, that was Clyde. I can't believe he did that. Hold on, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's just active, which is good, because considering how he was most of the year, which was really hard to watch, like he was really in not a good place most of the year, I will take this over that. Sometimes it can be disruptive. Oh, thank you, Nettie. Yes, please don't hesitate to like the video if you were up in here. So let's come back. So the other thing about Mercury sextile Mars, captivating and convincing. Captivating and convincing. Remember what I said about the social experiences? A lot of great things can come out of being social this week, but you got to be mindful of who you're dealing with, because we do have a little bit of trickster energy afoot because of Gemini, because of Mercury, because of the White Rabbit, because of Virgo. So just be mindful that everybody, as far as like their intellectual aspect of self and their own ability to be charismatic, they're all going to be a little bit better at it. We're all going to be a little bit better at it at this time. So someone could be very convincing and you could just be super excited and just want to jump in. So again, just have your discernment in what's about you, okay? Now, here's also where it gets tricky. Mars being square the North Node. That's not such a great aspect, because that creates this vibe of, I'm so gung-ho, I'm so confident, I'm just going to go and do A, B, C, D, E. and the square to north node goes, yeah, good luck with that. That is totally the aspect of jumping off the cliff before you should. Initiating, leading, launching something before it's actually truly ready or before it's the ideal time, which can backfire or lead to unpleasant circumstances. It doesn't have to be the case, but it's definitely likely. And again, especially if you have very important or prominent placements in any of the cardinal signs between that 6 degrees and 8 degree points. I'd just be very careful, especially if it's like your midhaven or something like that, like where it's more about like your public life and how people see you and reputation. Like, just be careful. I'm not trying to put fear in you guys. I'm just saying be careful. Especially with Mercury being sextile Mars, I do think there's more of a chance for things to work out in a positive way, especially if you just take the time to make sure things are actually prepared. I'm not saying don't leap. I'm just saying look before you leap. Like really look before you leap is all that I'm saying. Are you okay to be here? I thought he was settling down, but he's not. Hold on. Buddy. 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 Hey. Hi. You want to be on the couch? Please? Please? He's like, no, I don't. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else that I want to mention here? No, I mentioned that. This definitely benefits the social aspect of life more so than the work aspect of life. And I also want to make that clear too, just because of the nature of Mars with the North Node, and then all of like the fun kind of energy we have with Venus, which I haven't even gotten to yet, and even with Jupiter. So even the way I wrote it, social life gets a boost here with charisma and flirty behavior. Just be discerning and enjoy it. When it comes to plans, projects, or work, just enjoy life right now and know when you're ready to lead and initiate, you'll be prepared, is how I wrote that. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Venus now. I literally titled this Fall Back in Love. Yeah, Venus is really nice this week. Can't even lie. Can't even lie. So Venus is in Libra this week. At the beginning of the week, she will be sextile Juno and trine Cheroklo in Aquarius. Wait, sextile Juno? No, she's conjunct Juno. That's weird. Why did I write sextile? She's definitely conjunct Juno. Don't know why I wrote sextile, but I did. Anyway, so in the beginning of the week, just to reiterate, Venus is working with Juno in a conjunction while trine Cheroklo in Aquarius. Now, by the end of the week, Venus will be trine Jupiter while opposing Chiron. Don't worry too much about that opposition to Chiron. I kind of mentioned it before, right? Where you're just living life, you're having fun, you're getting curious, you're meeting people, you're talking to people. Maybe you're even mending relationships. This is also a really good week to try your hand at that if it's just the time to do that in your personal life. But just know if you have any fears or insecurities around relating to people, especially in terms of like holding on to your sense of self and identity and speaking up for yourself and having a balanced relationship experience, right? If you got any fears or insecurities around that, that can totally be highlighted at this time, but it doesn't have to be rough. It can really be handled with ease and grace and have a pleasant surprise there, okay? Just want to be clear. But when it comes to dating, romance, love, relationships, again, charisma, magnetism, creativity, your own desire for pleasure and for beauty and art. And I actually wrote diplomacy. I feel like that was a download. Creating diplomacy and harmony is actually one that wants to come through there. It's a lucky time. It's a lucky time for all of that stuff. Again, just with moderation and just be prepared for the confrontation of fears and insecurities. Finances here are kind of funky as well because Venus trine Jupiter can be really beneficial in the financial sector, especially if you have any Libra or Gemini in one of your financial houses. But just be mindful that we do have some trickery, trickster energy afoot, and that square Jupiter with the sun, while Mars also square the North Node. Finances could be hit or miss. You just gotta watch what you're doing is really all I want to say about that, okay? We do still have some long-term aspects. I really don't even feel like they're worth mentioning that much, but we'll do a timestamp for it. Also, before I transition into that, I just want to make it clear for all of the Venusian stuff I was mentioning, anywhere you have Libra and Gemini 15 to 20 degrees, that's where I would look to see where you can really enjoy all of that just yummy, yummy, goody energy. Okay. All right. So, speaking to some of these long term aspects that we've been having, this is between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They've been aspecting each other for months. They're very, very close to each other right now. Neptune being at 28 degrees Pisces, Uranus being at 27 degrees Taurus, and Pluto being at 29 degrees Capricorn. So they're all really close to each other. While Neptune and Pluto are still working with Pallas Athena, but not for much longer because Pallas Athena is now in Sag and is moving on. But all of this just to say, this is part of those like big picture changes I keep referencing here and there during the weeklies. Again, we've been experiencing this just on a global level of just seeing, oh, shit needs to change. Oh, we can actually see how to do that. That's basically all it pertains to. But the Pallas Athena in Sag transition is interesting here since it's not working with Uranus anymore, but it's still working with Neptune and Pluto. There's a stronger conviction for what matters to you, whether that's just purpose, or there's a cause you want to stand up for, or you've got a sense of mission, whatever it may be. But this is also going to help getting people to see the value of it, the value of your pursuits and the value of what matters to you through a higher or unexplored perspective. Through a higher perspective or unexplored perspective. Okay? Okay. But yeah, that's everything that we got going on this week astrologically. Like I said, it's a good week. Dare I say yummy? I do want to say yummy. It does. It just feels yummy. Did he settle down? Okay. He settled down. He's just at the front door now. Okay. We may or may not do groups. We'll see. We'll definitely do collective. Excuse me. Higher perspectives are yummy. Yes. Assessing what we value and taking action towards that with moderation. It's so important to enjoy life this week. It's so important to enjoy life this week. Venus is begging us to, even Jupiter is begging us to. That Virgo component and then the Mars activity. So Cancer and Virgo is where you may feel that drive to do. But everything else is saying, you can just enjoy. And if you are going to go do or take action or lead or initiate something and just be in that kind of like masculine way of being, just make sure you're doing it with joy. Like seriously, like especially when it comes to your work life or projects or just goals you're trying to achieve and you're trying to like cross the things off the list and like make progress like in that way. Make sure you're doing it with joy and not just because you're doing it for the sake of doing it. Do it because it makes you happy. Do it because it makes your heart go aflutter. Do it because it makes you giggle like a kid or whatever. That there's joy and passion in it. If you're doing for the sake of doing, you may run into some problems this week. Remember, that square Jupiter is just waiting to capitalize on that. So enjoy. Enjoy life. Okay? Okay. All right. Just feeling what to start with. I was working a lot with the Star Codes Astro Oracle today. Am I still feeling that? I am still feeling that. Okay. Yeah, let's get into the collective portion for today. I see here, you buddy. He's like so pensive by the front door. All right. Any messages or insights for the collective? The collective reading I did earlier today was crazy. I can't wait to post it for YouTube. It's been a hot minute since I just felt pulled to just do a collective reading like that. I was like, oh, it's very clear why. Anyway. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? I'm getting like weird visuals. Air may be an important element. I guess that makes sense. Just with all the Libra and Gemini we got going on. But they just keep showing me sky, just like open sky, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to make of that. Some of you could feel really drawn to nature this week as well, and there's something about the connection of trees to the sky is really what they're emphasizing. That makes me want to say as above, so below that makes me want to say. Are we still Mercury retrograde? Why can't I talk today? Any messages or insights for the collective this week? That higher perspective is going to be very important. Like, be in the present and like enjoy and like have your pleasure, but he can't help himself. But yeah, just make sure you are being very discerning. Buddy, you cannot lay here. Sorry guys, hold on. I know, I love you too, but you just can't. I'm sorry. It's not big enough for you. I'm sorry. Okay. Go. All right. Big sweet guy. He is. He is. Any messages or insights for the collective this week? Engagement is the word that just came through. Engagement. Engaged with other people is really what that feels like to me. Engaged with the present, absolutely, but I feel like this is definitely more about the social aspect of things. He found a bell. I didn't even know where that came from. Yeah, I'm really liking this like feeling of being engaged with other people. It's definitely going to be people who are similar to you, akin to you, can meet you at the heart to heart. This has been coming up a lot, and we talked about it pretty heavily on Patreon yesterday. It's like a 2-hour conversation. It got a little like, I think everyone got a little worked up because I think we all resonated, but it was just a lot about connection and connecting with people who want to connect, right? Not everybody does. Not everybody's really capable or in that place to connect at the heart. But that's what's coming through. Ooh, moon. How ominous. Moon with perception, 19, which is a cyclical energy. Definitely feeling the cycles. Definitely feeling the importance of cycles of the moon, even cycles of relating, cycles of relationships. In engaging with people, when we engage and truly connect, like truly, right? Truly connect at the heart level in a way that's healthy. There's also so much that goes on that's not seen and not even spoken. And that's what I'm getting here too. It's definitely what I'm getting here too. Something coming from behind. Something coming from behind the moon. Wait, how do I? The way we also experience relationships is also very dependent on where we're at personally, where we're at individually, where we're at with our own beliefs in relationship to self. And I'm really getting that with perception as well. There's a lot coming through. Why does this feel scattered? Our ability to see relationships clearly and to see other people clearly is dependent on our ability of doing our own discernment and to even see ourselves clearly, what we feel clearly, what we need clearly. I feel like there's just a lot that's becoming very clear on how one relates to the other, like how we relate to other people. And however that comes through for you, it's like you could start becoming very clear on your emotional needs in relationships. You could start to become very clear on relationships that are spiritually driven, like what that really feels like, what that's like. And even clarity on maybe projection. Some of you could have even been either the recipient of or the projector, right? being projected upon or projecting onto others. I just feel like there's a lot of clarity happening here. There's a lot of clarity happening there. Yeah, we are definitely in the eclipse energy. I just saw that comment. We're definitely in the eclipse energy already. I feel like this full moon Pisces is going to feel very warm, honestly. I like something about it feels so good to me. And I know that's not going to be everybody's experience. I haven't revisited the astrology of that particular full moon just yet. I will relatively soon because I'll be live probably Saturday on Patreon to do the live hangout. Yeah, there's just so much coming through here. There's so much coming through on the clarity and nuance of relating. And again, how much that's dependent on where you're at with yourself, your own stuff, your feelings, your emotions, your energy, and even your ability to discern, should I connect to this person? Should I not connect to this person? Right? I feel like if there have been a lot, hearing victim, interesting. If you've had any recent experiences, probably, I'm trying to get a timeline. Probably since the spring equinox. Oh, that's interesting. If you have experienced heavy projections and illusions and fears within relationships since the spring equinox, there's going to be clarity in all that stuff. How much of it was fear, how much of it was them, how much of it was you, like all of that is also becoming very clear. Okay. Oh, if it's spring equinox, I guess that makes sense if we're also talking about the last eclipse cycle, right? Because that was like about 6 months ago. Okay. Anything else for the collective for this week? Life can be romantic. There's definitely how do I want to say that? Allowing one to kind of fall back into love with life, rediscovering romance and mystery of life. That feels very exciting and fun to me. It feels very like Venus Libra to me. Like sometimes the unknown can be playful and kind of exciting versus scary. Yeah, descendant with invitation, 7th house energy. Yeah, this is all about relating. This is all about relating to others based upon how you relate to yourself, including fears, insecurities, projections, illusions of self, of other people, of relationships. All of it. Again, very complex. Very complex stuff going on here. But that's what I'm feeling with descendant. It brings into account the like other individuals. Can I get one more? Fear becomes curiosity. Just something that came through. Fear becomes curiosity. If faced with the same situations where you've been afraid, now you may be more curious than afraid. More excited and intrigued than afraid. Can I get one more for the collective, please? Wow. Oh, look, 7th house, relationships. I mean, literally the descendant is basically the 7th house. So, okay. Just confirming all of that, reaffirming all of that. I keep getting pulled back to this vibe. Oh, ouch. Getting pulled back to this vibe of like, there's just been a lot of confusing things that have happened. I keep wanting to say since the spring equinox, which technically is kind of like the real new year. It's a whole other video. That there's just been a lot of confusing. Thank you. They're bringing up Gemini. That makes sense. That makes sense. The fact we've also had Jupiter in Gemini, and then that Jupiter started to move from a sextile to Saturn into a square with Saturn with that Gemini component against Pisces, that can definitely create like a confusion of truth and reality. Because Pisces is very like void-like, right? Intuitive, non-physical, feelings, empathy, all of that, while Gemini is like facts, words, communication, knowledge. But Gemini in its own way represents the infinite fractals of truth, right? And I feel like that's also part of the trickster energy I'm feeling. Wow, there's a lot of like reflecting back on the last 6 months. So I definitely think the eclipses are tying into this. Yeah, I just feel like fractals of truth, illusions, projections, trickster, just confusing ass experiences, maybe even confusing feelings that have come up in the last 6 months. This also, I feel like, is bringing us speeding. I heard speeding us back up to August that we have just, moved out of. But the month of August, I think, was also just a time of crazy making on that level, where there was a lot of just collective intrusion of just like, how do I want to say, this came up in Patreon yesterday too. There's just a lot of intrusion when it came to our thoughts, our mental space, our emotions, picking up on stuff that's not ours, picking up on this like collective fear, right? I'm getting, this is all around the moon. Okay, this is all around the moon. Anyway, coming back, all of that's about to be really clear, okay? All that's about to be really clear, but specifically in the realm of relationships and what has happened, what is real, what's not real, what's possible, what you need, what you want, what's healthy, what's not healthy, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. Wow. Okay. I do want to pull from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. So let's do that. Elections are close and we're being bombarded. Ooh. So confusion kind of follows that. Yeah, it's an interesting space. I don't know. It's an interesting space to pay attention to. Because I definitely feel like that can exacerbate a lot of things unnecessarily. Yeah. And belief, right? Like, are we talking about this? I guess we're talking about this. Where we're at in our own beliefs and perceptions of reality, that really does drive reality. And if we allow ourselves to become overwhelmed by fear, overcome by fear, influenced by all of these external ideas and notions, we compromise. Our ability for hope becomes compromised. Our ability to envision or cultivate a different reality gets compromised. Our ability to, the sword is coming in. I still haven't been able to do an Island Turtle Hug episode on the whole sword thing right now. Hold on, let me come back because I haven't explained that whole analogy to you guys. Our ability to discern our truth, hold to it, stay centered in it, becomes compromised. And then what we end up having is a weird reality that gets created from just a conundrum of just falsity, really. Really. Everyone can believe the world's coming to an end. Doesn't mean it will, right? But if enough people believe it, kind of can start shifting reality to that direction. And if enough people believe and truly can see, this is just part of the natural order of just evolution and change. And it does require things to be different. It requires things to be uncomfortable. And it might not be pretty and it might be bumpy, but it doesn't mean that things are not going to fall into place in the right way, right? Just because it looks a little ugly right now. Anyway, I don't think we need to talk too much about it. But just, I guess, speaking on that to that extent. But let's come back to the reading. Again, using the Herbal Astrology Oracle here. Psilocybin with commune. Oh. Sun and Pluto energy, 49, breaking down to a 4. I love the psilocybin card because it kind of is speaking to what I was getting at, right? Because while this card can speak to like literally psilocybin in the way of connecting with plant medicine and connecting with spirit on that level, it actually speaks to connecting to your inner sacred child, to connect to this like sacred, playful energy, especially with other people. And that's what I was getting. Like, this is a time to be engaged with other people, connecting with other people, but do it with clear eyes. Do it with this unwavering centeredness of your truth, right? The last 6 months have kind of taken us on a weird ride of, again, these like fractals and illusions and projections and trickster energy and weird stuff going on in the background that may come to light now and all that stuff. But Connect with the people that can connect to you in a heart-to-heart level, on a heart-to-heart level, and you'd be very surprised what could come through for you this week, or what could happen this week, what insights could form, what healing could happen, but also just what fun you could have, right? Right. Am I taking that? No. Can I get one more card, please? We have Radiance with St. John's wort. St. John's wort is very powerful for just healing physical ailments. And then we have Nettle with Action. That snake is really jumping out at me. This is Mars energy, Mars and Pluto energy. So we have a lot of Sun, we got a lot of Pluto, we got a little bit of Mars showing up in the herbal astrology, just emphasizing for you guys, for those who are curious. The Nettle card. Something feels weird about the Nettle card. Like, these two feel really good. These two feel really good. This feels like the engagement with others in a healthy way, lifting of the spirits. Hold on a second, buddy. Oh, I feel like a mom. I'm just gonna hold him until he gets tired of me holding him, and then maybe he'll just like give me a break. Are we done? Maybe? Maybe not? No? Okay. Like I said, I'm super happy he's so much better, because when he was not, it was a bad time. You want to get down? Okay. Okay. Coming back. So, psilocybin and St. John's wort. All of this feels really, really good. This feels like the re-engagement, right, with other people. I can feel an upliftment of spirit. I can feel just warmth, just like almost want to say even like the warmth of the sun. Some of you may have a nice little power boost in your solar plexus going on this week, because I'm feeling just warm. Like, I just can't stop feeling like the sun on my skin even as I'm talking to you guys. So all of that feels really good. The Nettle card, though, this feels funky to me. This feels funky. Now, while there is a lot of emphasis to, I'm not gonna say emphasis, there's a lot of support and energy from Mars of go do, go do, go do, go do. Nettle specifically, yes, it's a card of action, but it specifically speaks to that like malefic force of masculine energy to break down, to seek out and break down what needs to be broken down. I would say be careful with that. I would just say be careful with that, because there's so much gentility, and I almost want to say purity, dare I say, with all this like Libra, Venusian, go connect and go love life and go have pleasure. But there's something about this that feels a little too harsh. It feels just a smidgen too harsh. There's nothing wrong with observing what changes need to take place, or even observing what's not healthy in your life, or even in certain relationships. Just make sure that like, as you are tackling these things, if you want to tackle them this week, free will, right? That you are doing it with some compassion. You're doing it with a sense of gentility. You can end relationships. You can put a spotlight on bad things. You can make changes in your personal life, and you can still be gentle about it, right? It doesn't have to be abrasive. It doesn't have to be rough. Yeah, is what I want to say. Even with the snake, it's like I love the energy of snakes, but something about the snake feels very like you don't have to cause pain or discomfort to make change happen, or to uproot something unhealthy out of your life. And specifically, I want to say it is more about relationships than anything. So just be mindful that this could be your energy, but you could also experience that by way of another person. And, you know, we all have different needs, so handle that however you want to handle that. But yeah, it's just something I'm seeing there. I kind of want to move into groups. Hold on. Just tuning in. Am I doing groups today? Oh, I got a hard yes. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing groups today. Let me just get my cards ready. Okay. For those of you who don't know how to go about doing the groups or picking a reading for you, use your own discernment, use your intuition. In the title, like when I do the timestamps, I always put like key things that were coming up for the different groups to help you navigate or help you discern. if you need something concrete, but it's like a pick a card without picking a card. Okay? Just think of it like that. Oh, immediately, group one, orange. Bright, hot, orangey kind of vibe. Okay. What? What? What you need? I know it's not food. I'm sure you guys can hear him. Buddy, just please be calm. Be calm. But yeah, group one. Oh, timestamp. Gosh darn it. Okay, hold on. Can't believe I forgot that. Actually, I'll just start it at 50. I'm just gonna guess. Okay, so group one. Instantly, I felt like I got blasted by this like hot orange something, like light energy. It really feels like a blast, like something being blasted. Oh, there you go. There you go, buddy. Okay. Okay, he's good. He's just laying all over my cards. I feel so hot right now. What is going on with group one? That's a lot of fire. I actually want to say it's a good temperament of water and fire, is what I want to say. You may find temperance to be a good energy to move into. For those who don't understand what I mean when I say that, temperance, the tarot card, I speak in tarot sometimes. It's a card of balance, okay? It is a card of moderation, which literally just keeps coming up in just all of the messages on astrology, but that might really benefit you at this time, okay? I feel like you've like broken free of something, actually. Yeah, group one, I feel like you've like broken free of something. You've broken out. You feel really free. It feels really good. Just like, it feels really good. It just feels like your solar and your sacral are just in overdrive. Like overdrive. I feel like you're literally on fire, but at the same time, I can tell there's like a lot of like water component going on with you. I also feel the world in terms of elements. It's a whole other thing. Yeah, it just feels like you're ready to soar. You're ready to soar. This thing you've recently become free of, or maybe you're becoming free of it this week. This is reminding me of the collective reading. Like in the collective reading I did, which again I'll post soon here on YouTube. I just need to wait for it to process and all the things. In the collective reading, it was like an overnight shift. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with you, group one. It feels like overnight, you're just free of something. Like it's just not a problem anymore, or it's just like not a thing. Or maybe, a relationship fell apart, or maybe you like, a certain situation that was you were struggling through is just over and you're finally free. But it feels like your literally your mana and your creative force is in overdrive. Your ability to play, your ability to create is in overdrive. I don't think it's bad, it just kind of is, but let's go ahead and pull some cards. I'm going to start with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck here. Yeah, all I see is orange. That's all I see. I just see orange. That's all I see. Maybe some of you actually are giving birth this week. I've never been pregnant, but I imagine at like the final hours of pregnancy, it's probably very uncomfortable. It's got that kind of vibe to it. What's going on for group one? Am I taking these? No. What's going on for group one? God, the cards are flying. See, it's like even your energy is so, the cards can barely stay in my hands. Okay. Chill. What's going on for group one? They're showing me a diamond. Maybe you got a diamond. Maybe you resonate with diamonds. Maybe you like diamonds. Why are you showing me a diamond? I want to say you're a diamond. Just literally how it wants to come through. You are a diamond. Camel and Stingray coming out here for group 1. It's interesting because I kept saying like temperance, temperance, temperance. I feel water. There's a shit ton of fire, but I feel water. We literally have fire and water coming out here, but both of these don't feel like the level of fire I was feeling with you, but I think it's just kind of hitting home on the level of temperance that could really help you at this time. Stingray is a card of emotional and spiritual strength, while Camel is, you know, getting through things, but getting through things with a sustainable, resourceful mind and planning and diligence. There's a level of strength that you have, you've attained. Thank you. You've attained. Whatever you became free from, when you were not free of it, you really had to be here. It's kind of what was coming through. You really had to like exhibit and learn almost like a mastery of discipline, I guess is a good way to see that. A mastery of discipline of the way you moved about in the world, like your own vitality, even like physically, maybe you had some health stuff going on, and a mastery of your own emotions. Keeping yourself going. Yeah, thank you. You had to learn to keep yourself going. What are you free from? It's like, I'm so curious what it is. Anything else for group 1? Sorry, buddy. What did I say? You broke free. Elephant. Elephant breaks down barriers and challenges and obstacles. You did. You broke free of whatever it was. Because whatever it was, like, it was kind of rough. It was rough, but it also, like, I think this is why the diamond is coming up. I'm like, yeah, you are the diamond. It polished you, right? That's what, even like when we think of astrology, that's like what Saturn and Pluto helps us to do, right? Helps us to, under pressure, right, become our most evolved self. Yeah, the pressure was on and you were pushing through as best you could. But like I said, you're moving into a space where you're free of whatever that was that brought the struggle. Probably something that was the last 6 months, right? Anything else? It prepared you. Yeah, it prepared you. We have Lamb, the baby energy. So if you gave birth, again, I would not be surprised. Or there's a new baby in your life, I would not be surprised. But Lamb is a card of purity. Lamb is a card of innocence, of beginnings. I just, I keep wanting to say, whatever rough shit you were dealing with the last 6 months or sometime in the last 6 months, you needed to have it happen. I know that sounds cheesy, but you did. It was necessary. I feel like it's preparing you for something in your near future. Yeah. Again, elephant emphasizing the breaking free, but then Lamb coming out. I feel like this is you coming out as a diamond. And yes, we think of Lamb as soft and cute and like little baby energy. You got a lot of power behind you. Like, you don't lose this just because you're free of a rough situation or rough experiences, right? But you've been like diamondized. I love making up words. You've been diamondized. Okay. Some of you may feel like you have a restoration of your innocence or of your inner child, your purity. Your pure intentions is what I heard. Hummingbird. Yeah. So now that the crazy hard times have alleviated you, you've been diamondized, and you're in a time where you just get to enjoy. And that's really what I'm feeling with Hummingbird. You're in a time where you just get to enjoy. I feel like whatever tools you gained in learning how to be like that in the last 6 months, they're going to come into play soon. But I feel like right now you get to just play. Yeah, you get to just play and be the sparkly little diamond that you are. Okay, let's move on to the Fae. I think that's why orange is so big, because orange is play, creativity, all that stuff. Can I get a card for Camel and Stingray? While you were going through whatever this was, you could have felt disconnected from support, disconnected from help. Some of you could have really felt the pressure of Saturn Pisces, which teaches us how to have faith by sometimes losing our faith. But I'm feeling a disconnect that you were experiencing where you just felt like you didn't have support. Some of you, that lack of support could actually be more of a lifelong pattern or narrative. Let me say that again. Or narrative that you had about yourself in your life. But the important thing is something about the last 6 months in particular. Tell me more about Camel and Stingray for group 1. Man. Okay, I don't know what you were going through, but even with this card coming out, undressing of a salad. Undressing of the salad is literally how it sounds. It's taking something apart. It's literally taking something apart. You could have been trying to hold shit together while something was literally falling apart. Could have been a relationship, could have been work, could have been your health, could have been so many things. Some of you, it actually was your own belief systems, like something about the fabric of your own belief was getting unraveled. And it showed you your own strength. It taught you your own adaptability and perseverance. But some of you with this unraveling, some of you needed to be unraveled a little bit. It's so weird what they're showing me. They're kind of showing me like a haystack, and like, you know, like that phrase, finding the needle in the haystack. That's not quite what this is, but it's like, I almost see like moving like big clumps of hay, almost like clay, of hay, and like trying to desperately find something underneath everything. This unraveling might have felt like an unraveling of self, like I said, or an unraveling of your faith or your beliefs, but that's because it was necessary. It was important. Something had to be rooted out is what I'm gathering from that. Yeah, something had to be rooted out. Okay, let's move on to elephant. Tell me about elephant. This guy's been showing up quite a bit. The feline. Oh, the feline. The feline has a little bit of a smart alecky kind of attitude. He's older, I guess he's entitled to. Feline comes around when he looks at you and goes, are you really taking accountability? Are you really looking at stuff? Are you really? Or is there something you missed? Like, that's the feline. It's a little bit of a naggy, finger pointing, trying to get you to look at your own shit. Yeah, even with him coming out with elephant, I feel more confident in the unraveling that I was picking up on. There was something about your beliefs, certain foundations, maybe even like relationships or just patterns, narratives that literally had to be, one, uncovered, and then literally like extrapolated, like taken out, taken away, removed. Yeah. And the feline is here with you, like finally being free of it, just to like really reiterate that this was important and it wasn't just happenstance. It wasn't unnecessary. It was entirely necessary because there was something there that was not doing you any good. And I do want to say it comes down to some level of accountability on some level. But let's look at you being diamondized here. Being free of that, okay? And getting to enjoy a little bit. Some of you may feel like you get to enjoy life with new eyes. Some of you, it's relationships with new eyes. Suddenly life doesn't feel so hard. I love these cards. The Singer of Courage with Oh That Gnome. And look, 26 with an 8 and then an 8. 8, pretty synchronistic. Oh That Gnome is a trickster. Remember what I said? There's trickster energy afoot. There's also trickster energy being unveiled, right? And just like finally seeing who's behind the mask, right? You know, metaphorically speaking. But with this coming out, with you being diamondized here and getting to enjoy life on a whole other level, I feel like you're just gonna do it. I don't feel any fear here. I don't feel fear. I don't feel hesitation or resistance. These two cards are indicating that you may need a little bit of that, but I don't feel it at all. Like the Singer of Courage is a fearless card. It's a fearless, oh, some of you needed your fear uprooted. Oh, that's what it was. For some of you, that's what it was. You needed to become unraveled to get to the root of a fear or your fear. Interesting. Because this is fearless. This is like a fearless, full energy, rising to the occasion. Oh, that gnome just kind of dares you to do it. That's just his medicine as a trickster. He just dares you. He looks at you and goes, come on. Are you going to do it? You going to go enjoy? You going to go just be? He just dares you. That's all. All of that feels really good to me. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you overcame some like deeply rooted fear or something. Fear that you probably didn't even know you had. Very cool. All right, we'll do some tarot cards and we'll move on to another group here. Clyde settled behind me. So for those who are not patrons, when the collective reading posts, which could be tomorrow or Wednesday, and you resonate with this group, I would definitely watch it. There's definitely some similar themes going on here. Tell me about undressing of a salad. Eight of Cups. The unraveling had to happen. So again, something could be uprooted. Eight of Cups also confirms that this is also Saturn Pisces. I do think this is an influence of just the activity of Saturn Pisces, especially in the square to Jupiter with Gemini for you personally. But this is allowing emotional, I want to say like roots, emotional seeds, emotional tethers, cords, for you to be liberated of them. And they were affecting you. Some of you, it actually could have been cords of other people and their energy or their thoughts, their feelings could have been affecting you. But this unraveling had to happen so you could actually be free. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting like getting like people, narratives, beliefs, fears, things like that. Tell me more about undressing of a salad. But a card fell, I guess not. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups. Oh, wow. Crazy. Look at this. Eight of Cups, Seven of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Getting over the seven, getting over confusion, overwhelm, what's real, what's not. Seven of Cups really hits home. Everything I was saying about like Gemini working off of Pisces with this Jupiter square Saturn of like the last 6 months, but really peaking in August of what happens when you take something like Gemini, infinite fractals of truth and reality, and then you square it off with Pisces, right? Which just represents literally just everything that's non-physical, emotion, psychic energy, even beliefs and all of that, and then they don't play well with each other. It just creates like just crazy making. That's what it creates. Crazy making, especially for anybody who has also been influenced by other people or who can feel other people, like my empaths. You were probably picking up on a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts, a lot of fears, a lot of projections, all the bullshit. You're being severed from that. This is what was making you crazy. This is what was making life so hard and so confusing. Also, what could have been contributing to this feeling of being disconnected from support as well, like feeling kind of alone in it. But also what is here is the Ace of Wands. Fun, excitement, inspiration. Ooh, I get to enjoy life in a new way again. You know what I mean? That Ace of Wands was always lurking there. The Seven of Cups was hiding it. And again, the Seven of Cups, I think, was really contributing to this feeling of just like needing to be disciplined, needing to push through, needing to like figure out how to just maintain your shit, maintain yourself while things were getting unraveled and things were getting really confusing. I really want to use the word crazy making. All right, let's move on to elephant and the feline. This is the breaking free. Some of you might have been dealing with people or person. I'm just getting kind of a controlling vibe. Yeah, I'm getting a controlling vibe. Who didn't want you to be free of them. Just calling a spade a spade. Tell me about elephant and feline. Interesting. King of Cups. Huh. I feel like King of Cups is you. Yeah, I feel like King of Cups is you. Because you've had to learn such mastery of your own emotions. And that's what the King of Cups is. The Stingray is my King of Cups card. So that's definitely you. Tell me more about elephant and feline. Some people could have abused your heart. I really want to just say your heart. Oh, look at that. Hermit and the Four of Cups. I feel like this is also emphasizing what you were experiencing while you were in that hardship. Hermit with the Four of Cups. That's a whole lot of trying to figure out why you're not happy. Pretty much. Trying really hard to figure out, why am I not happy? Why do I feel disconnected from my emotions or from spirit even, or even faith? Some of you could have been dealing with depression. Some of you could have just been feeling like, where is the excitement of life? Like, you know what I mean? It's like all kinds of different things that come through the Four of Cups, but it comes down to, why have I been struggling with feeling good or feeling happy or feeling fulfilled? Some of you may have also dealt with struggles around vices and addictions, because I'm also hearing empty. Some of you may have felt like there has been like a hole, that you've been trying to fill, like an inner void. Like, why do I feel empty? Or why do certain things make me feel empty? I feel like this has also been a huge challenge to stay connected to yourself, to stay connected to your heart. But again, I feel like you're breaking out of all of that. Okay? Let's move on to when you're diamondized. I didn't think this reading was going to be so long, but it kind of is. Did not mean for that to happen. Tell me about Oh That Gnome and Singer of Courage. Wow, it's a lot of cards. Oh my. Okay. Makes sense. So we have Page of Cups with Temperance. So Temperance showing up that was one of the first things I was getting for you. Page of Cups is my card of innocence, which is also coming through with the Lamb and you being all diamondized and everything. I feel like you have found your way back to yourself. I feel like you have found your way back to what makes you feel good, even in your own heart space, and just getting out of that struggle. Okay. So I'm feeling that. A lot of beautiful healing happening there too for where that applies. And then we have this. Two of Swords, King of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Chariot. We have the King and Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups. Some of you, this could have also been circulating around a family dynamic, okay? Just because we literally have mama, papa, child going on here. Some of you could have been working through some of your own shit in terms of those dynamics in your life of patriarchal, matriarchal, and inner child stuff, all right? Oh, Rock and Robin, thank you. Oh, I can't like this one? Why not? Oh, well, thank you. I wanted to heart it, but it doesn't give me the option to. Anyway, so coming back here, I think this is why Singer of Courage is out here with Oh That Gnome and why they're kind of daring you. It seems like you're being dared to make a choice, especially with Chariot emphasizing this. So much Cancer energy here. Chariot is all about movement. It's even a card of ascension. But it's triumphant movement in a very specific direction or path that you are maintaining, you are not going to yield on, and you're going to be very confident about. Queen of Cups is you also reflecting on this choice. It could be a choice around a King of Swords as well. If that's the case, that would be a very controlling influence in the way that I was kind of feeling with you. But yeah, I feel like you're being challenged here to make a choice to act out of this very pure, innocent, diamondized nature. I don't think it's much of a dare, though. I think if you're feeling like you might struggle with whatever this choice is, because it could be a choice of anything, right? If you're struggling with whatever this choice is, I feel like maybe there's still some fear you got to work through, but I don't think it's a hard choice. I really don't. I think it's one that your inner child wants to make. I think it's one you're dying to make. And yeah, I don't see what would hold you back. I really don't. I really don't. Yeah. Some of you may feel like you have to confront or have a conversation with a King of Swords. Doesn't have to be a man, but it's somebody who's very like logical, very quick with their words, very quick-minded is what I want to say. Probably somebody very intelligent, but also somebody who probably doesn't really care a whole lot about like emotions. You're coming through as like pure cups. King, Queen, Page of Cups. King of Swords is all air, air on air. It's Aquarius energy. So they probably would not like meet you at that emotional place, which again seems to be something that's going on this week too. Like who's meeting you at the heart and who's not. So maybe you got a little fears about confronting this person, but that's not for everybody. That's not everybody, but it's there. All right, very interesting read. Let's go ahead and move into group 2. Should I put all the cards away? I might have to make the next reading shorter. I'm just looking at the time and also looking at what's going on outside because I wanted to go on a little walk tonight. And if I do lengthy reads, I might not be able to. So, all right. Group 2. Get a sip of water. Just caught the tail of the reading. Can't wait to listen to the whole reading. Well, it'll be there. It'll be there for you. Okay, what's going on for group 2? Oh, this is really weird. Getting like algae. It's like bizarre. I have no idea what to make of that. You could be really focused on plants at this time or getting excited to learn about plants, or maybe you're gardening. I mean, but algae, why is algae coming through? No idea why that's coming through. Maybe one or two of you need to hear that for whatever reason as confirmation. I just think it's kind of bizarre. So while group 1 had a lot of orange, group 2, I am actually getting a lot of like yellow with you, like almost like pure solar energy. So there could be something happening between group 1 and group 2. I feel like you are in a lot of masculine energy for sure. Very confident. Yeah. Very confident and just ready is what I'm hearing. You're ready, you're ready, you're ready, you're ready. You're ready. You're ready. It just that's just wants to keep coming through. What are you ready for? What are you ready to do? You feel like it's the right time, which is interesting considering the astrology, right? Because I kept emphasizing like you could think it's the right time and it might not be the right time. But group 2, you feel very confident about it. Feel very reassured that it's the right time to do something, to act on something. Okay. If you feel that way, you feel that way. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. Any messages or insights for group 2? Gold is now coming through. Some of you could be thinking about buying gold. Some of you might like to wear gold, but gold, this is feeling very Leo to me. Very Leo. Some of you may work with Oshun. Gold. Okay. What's going on, group 2? Yeah, your solar is just like, I'm not feeling much else off of you. Like I'm trying to like scan. So funny trying to explain how I channel. And I'm feeling so much of your energy is in your center. Some of you have been trying to do centering practices. It's paying off. It's paying off. Shield. Oh, interesting. What just came out as I said shield. Hold on. Half the deck fell out of my hands. So I just got the word shield. I think some of you have been trying to learn how to protect your energy a little bit better because lizard just came out. 5 fire. Lizard is my card for like empath overload, for energy overload, overly sensitive to stimuli. Like that's what lizard is for me personally. And I feel like you have been doing a lot to not be as sensitive or not be as affected in that way. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like group 2, you've been picking up on a lot, or you've just been like easily influenced and affected on an energetic level, and you've been doing what you can to overcome that. But you're ready. What are you ready for? What are you ready for? Group 2. What are you ready for? Is this a crow? I'm getting birds. I want to say like raven, crow. I don't think it's you. I want to say it may be someone you're dealing with or someone in your field. Oh. Interesting. Okay, hyena. Not my favorite card. So for those who are unfamiliar, hyena is kind of like the Seven of Swords. It's the person that like laughs and smiles when really they're like planning your demise. Like that's hyena energy. Suddenly feel really nauseous. This sensitivity you've been feeling, this whole like shielding, has been very important. Okay, very important, because there has been something going on that I don't think you have full understanding about that actually doesn't feel very good. Can I get another card for hyena? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, group 2. It's going to be one of those readings. We got starfish out here with hyena. There's been someone who has been drawn to you, attracted to you, and it does. It feels like a person. You guys know me. I don't normally do reads like this, but if it's there, it's there. I just am true to what comes through for you guys. But yeah, I think there has been a person who has just been overly drawn to you, intrigued, interested, and it just does not feel right. And I think that's why you also haven't been feeling super great in that lizard state. Like again, overwhelmed, overstimulated. You've felt this need to like really work on your center, really work on your solar, really work on shielding. Why is the raven here though? Is this the raven? Raven's also trickstery, so is hyena. We'll see more about the raven in a minute. I'm not convinced this hyena person is the raven. I actually think the raven, it might be more of a guide, actually. Because raven medicine will help you to see the bullshit. Okay? Raven medicine is really good at revealing bullshit. Which you kind of need, is what I want to say. Anything else for group 2? Anything else for group 2? Yeah, someone's got a really strong mask, I want to say. Someone's got a strong mask. Their eyes give it away. That's what I just heard. Their eyes give it away. I don't like where this reading's going. Their eyes give it away. Are their eyes engaged with you? Are their eyes empty? The eyes are the windows to the soul. They really are. Something about their eyes. What else for group 2? Release, letting go. I think this is somebody you are relinquishing out of your life. And I think for good reason. Yeah, for good reason. Maybe it's sad. It might be sad, but this is for good reason. I don't even want to say there could be an attempt to mend, because there could be with this week, but there's also a week for pleasure and joy and heart-to-heart relationships. This is not a heart-to-heart person. Not with these cards. No. So this is an energy that should not be around, okay? Just being honest with you guys. I'm a little nervous to pull the Fae out. I said I wasn't going to do a long reading, but I think I need to like get into this one. And that's okay if I don't go for a walk. That's okay. Okay. Can I get a card for lizard for group 2? Yeah, I think you're just ready to not be around this kind of energy. Topsy-turvets and journeymen. A lot of trickster energy in your reading group too. A lot. Oh, I kind of have to sneeze. Yeah, a lot of trickster energy. Topsy-turvets is how it sounds. When something gets turned on its head, you can see something that you couldn't see before. You can see something that you couldn't see before. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't get a whole lot of raven synchronicities around you or crow synchronicities, because I do feel like that's actually something that's helping you. I feel like it's an animal guide that's helping you. But even with journeyman is literally about like the journey that we walk and the path that we're taking. So similar to group one, and this could be collective as well, something has like turned on itself and you're getting to see the truth of what you couldn't see before, of what was making you feel like this and what was making you feel so crappy. And I really gotta say, I think it's this. I do. I really do. Tell me more about hyena and starfish for group two. Tell me more about hyena and starfish for group two. So remember St. John's work came out for the collective reading. This is also being associated with the hyena and starfish for you personally, group two, because I blend the energies when I'm doing these reads. St. John's wort is really good for protection and cleansing. If memory serves, I believe that St. John's wort, if you like burn it or like, you know, use it like incense, it actually is really good at getting rid of like negative energy, and some people might even say like demonic energy. Anyway, hyena and starfish. Tell me more about hyena and starfish for group two. I feel, yeah, I keep getting pulled to say St. John's wort might be something you might want to consider incorporating into your, I don't know, your practices, consumption. Wow. I want to hug you, group two. I want to give you a hug. We have Dominus Gloom. 56 breaking down to an 11 with Singer of the Chalice, which is basically like the Ace of Cups. It's heart. It's the heart all day with himself and friends. Yeah, I want to give you a hug. So before accounting for Dominus Gloom, we have basically the Ace of Cups with himself and friends, right? Himself is like life force. It is mana, literally. Mana seems to be a theme this week. It is the life force that we use to create, and it's even a procreative card, very sensual in nature. And then we have the friends card. I feel like whoever this is to you, I think meant a lot, okay? I think meant a lot to you, maybe even inspired you. Just the himself card kind of speaks to that. But look at what comes with that. Dominus Gloom. Disappointment. Disappointment, sad, probably sad at whatever truth is being revealed about this person. Yeah. Yeah. The himself card. I normally love this card. Why is it feeling creepy? It's like something about this feels a little predatory, right? Is that just me? I've never felt that way about this card. I've always felt like it's a very like yummy, sensual, ooh, you know, kind of feeling your own power, your ability to do stuff. But looking at it, I feel like the eyes, there's something about the eyes that just keep grabbing me. Something about the eyes about this person just gives them away. You just got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. They could have a lot of sexual energy. They could have a lot of sexual energy. I think that's also a confirmation for some of you. But frog, you're letting it go. You're letting it go. And you might have a good cry over it. Tell me about frog for group two. Oh, it is so needed though. Spirit dancer. Yeah. It's so necessary. While it might make you sad, Spirit Dancer is literally the yes card. It's the card of I say yes to life, and I'm going to embrace life, and be happy and play and just enjoy life to the fullest. That's the spirit dancer. So it makes you sad, but man, is it liberating. It's freaking liberating, okay? Anything else for the frog? Anything else for the frog? Yeah, ecstasis coming out. We love seeing that. Ecstasis is also like being lit up or being activated. It's kind of like a antenna downloads, like being filled with like life and electricity. It's kind of like that. And also just making connection on more of an etherical level. But I feel like it's really just indicating how lit up you're gonna be as a result of walking away from whatever this is. Okay. All right, we're gonna do some tarot cards. And then we're gonna see if there's a group 3. There might not be a group 3. Also, my butt's getting tired. Just being honest. I think it is too late to go for a walk either way. It's just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, exactly. Tell me about Spirit Dancer and Ecstasis with Frog. Freedom. Strength. It's so crazy. So I meant to clarify all the other cards, and I got so sucked into what we were just talking about. I only focused on that. Interesting. Anyway, so strength coming out here. Strength can be controlling oneself and being in balance with oneself, but it also can be courage and confidence. And I feel like it's you taking control of your own happiness, honestly. So funny. I didn't even give a shit about the other cards. Got so sucked in over here. Tell me more about Spirit Dancer and Ecstasis. Tell me more about Spirit Dancer. 10 of Wands. Yeah, you're taking control back because this isn't good for you. It's just not. It's unhealthy, it's stressful, it's burdensome. It literally zaps your energy. It's too much. It's too much. One more. You're going to be lit up like a Christmas tree. Ace of Swords. It's just undeniable. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. You can't unsee it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And like I said, for some of you, something about this situation or this person or your connection with them might have like something probably got like turned upside down, or like literally something weird might have happened, or a tower might have happened, and it allowed you to just see the truth. Okay. All right. Tell me about Topsy Turvets and Journeyman with Lizard. Oh, I'm also noticing, didn't even see that before. 51 and 15. Page of Pentacles. This is a card of friendship and allyship. It's also a card of like loyalty, trust, predictability, practical matters, that sort of deal. So this could have been somebody that just was a friend, maybe not even necessarily a romantic relationship, but what has been highlighted for you in all of this is, where are you in terms of your own stability? Where are you in terms of feeling like you can be predictable, or life can be predictable and consistent and safe and stable? That has what has been brought to your awareness with this. Okay. Six of Swords. Whatever caused you to see the truth of this person in this situation, you're realizing stability, consistency lies elsewhere. It does. It lies elsewhere. It lies with leaving the past behind, especially if there were any unpleasant exchanges, because the 6 comes after the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords comes out when there is fear, when there's fear about, and people feel threatened, and people feel like they got to fight or they got to throw their weight around, whether you felt like that or they felt like that, right? But the Six of Swords implies getting away from those kind of situations and putting that behind you. That is what would bring you stability. Can I get one more, please? Yeah, Four of Cups. The situation also would put you in a Four of Cups kind of a state, feeling unfulfilled. This came out in group 1 as well. Feeling relatively unfulfilled, wondering where your joy is, maybe even feeling kind of bored with life, maybe even feeling a little depressed. Depleted is really what I want to say. I think you were just depleted energetically and emotionally, and you're realizing to not feel that way means not dealing with this person. I don't think we need to clarify any further. I think it's very clear. And also, like I said, my booty hurts from sitting for so long. Yes, I was tempted to do group 3, but yeah, I feel like this is relatively complete. Yes. Yes. So I'm gonna go. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for also supporting me. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. And I hope you have an amazing week, an amazing night. I will see y'all later. Remember to have fun this week, play, pleasure, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later, okay? Bye, guys.